Streaming cyberspace into your place from Road Atlanta. It's the Virtual Grip Network's final round coverage of the Andy Morgan Cup's 36th season, sanctioned as always by the Absolute Beginner League. From the city where Coca-Cola was invented, a warm Atlanta hello and welcome on this Sunday, June 2nd, 2024. Zach Shaggy Chapman joins yours truly, Bill Soups on high up in the VGN broadcast booth, speaking of our words eye view replay. Ryan Seneker turning the knobs and pushing the sliders. After stops in Brazil, Wisconsin, France, Florida, and Germany, the Andy Morgan Cup comes to Road Atlanta for its final stop, holding twin 20-minute sprints, races 9 and 10. Zach, we are here a few weeks ago in the Formula Eagle calling an open wheel event. Today they're putting fenders on the cars. What's this place feel like?
You know, a lot of elevation changes. I'm running on board here with Jan Mild right now. He's going through turns 2 and 3, coming up here, up on turn 4, about to go through the S's up here. And, I mean, the elevation changes are just unbelievable here. I mean, you're going to go in real hard right-hander, but you can't pick up the gas earlier. As you see, he's going to float up and go over the strips, and it flattens out. Maybe took a little bit too much curve there, but Soup, when we were here in the Formula 3 or Formula 4s, I guess it was.
Yeah.
Arguably the best race of the season. So I look forward to a lot of opportunistic passing, and you know, chances to outbrake someone. And coming down in here, I mean, what a point. We saw that was where they made the final move, or last lunge for the final move, and we're on for a good day here, Sue.
Nobody likes chicanes, but this is a good one here at Road Atlanta. And corner number 5, that's where a lot of action will happen. That's a tough corner. We'll keep an eye on that. Let's quickly take a look at the points. You know, Marcus Byfield, barring a disaster today, has clinched the championship. Last time out in the Nürburgring, well, he was 5 seconds ahead of David Third Degree Burns, who will slot into second behind him in the points. Byfield has 5 race wins this season. Burns has a couple. Jacek Potacek picked up a win in the second race at Interlagos. He was third at the Nürburgring. After picking up his best result of the season, a third at Sebring, Neil Bamber took last round off. Nevertheless, Bambley holds station in fourth, and he is here today. Somebody who is not here is Vincent Bream. And the Schnitzel and Strudel were not to his likings last time out, as Germany served up, well, his season's worth performance in 12th. So we talked about the points. Let's throw it back to Shaggy. He's going to tell you the race details.
Yeah, you know, final 2 races of the season here for the Andy Morgan Cup. And as you know, I'm running the GT3 cars this year. But today, you know, you've seen it every other week. We're going to run 2 20-minute sprints. So big points lead for Marcus Byfeld, but Burns stands a chance. If Marcus Byfeld has a big hiccup in this first race, Burns stands a chance. As we know, they're going to invert the top 5 positions at the end of this race. So if you finish 5th, you're going to start on the pole for heat number 2. And right now, we're seeing the end of qualifying. I was a little surprised, Soup. A lot of the drivers spread out. You know, this qualifying kind of permits drafting with a teammate, but we haven't seen many guys trying to use that draft pool to get around. But this could be, you know, because it's such an awkward track to pass. If you're a teammate trying to help you get pool, it's not exactly to let them around, or easy to let them around. So it's one of those things you got to kind of go find the lap time by yourself here.
Kind of a Goldilocks size field here today. Not too small, not too big. 15 cars. The big names are here, Marcus Byfeld and David Burns. They sit at the top of the charts. A driver to watch out for, we're seeing him for the first time, is car number 15, Alice Kanak. He's sitting 3rd in practice times, 3rd in qualifying times as well. So we'll see if he has anything for the 2 big names up front. You talked about teams. Well, 2 Stupid Dogs. There is a team championship, and that is the name of the team champion. They are manned by David Third Degree Burns and Vincent Bream. Vincent not here today, but that championship was locked up for them. They take pride in their team championship. Marcus Byfeld, we talked about it, comfortably sitting in the points, barring disaster in the first race. They pay down to 15, so there'll be points all the way through. Not a whole lot if he finishes in last, but I don't expect that to happen. Let's go ahead and give you the starting grid right now. This is based on the qualifying that just took place. Marcus Byfeld, well, he'll be starting on the pole with David Third Degree Burns outside of him.
Inside of row number 2, newcomer Alice Kanak, and outside of him, the series regular in the 45, Neil Bamber.
Good to see Bambi back. Then we go to the next drivers in line, which I will tell you who they are as soon as I bring it up. There is another newcomer. It is Roman Barron with Ludig Sauer, veteran, starting in 6th.
Milan Halmis rolling off P7 and is outside in the 58, Mike Neekum.
Another newcomer, Sebastian Derrida, Eastern European driver, starting in 9th position with Gregory Nutley to his outside.
Klaus Loudon on the inside of row number 6 and is outside Vladimir Stejko.
In the Bakersfield spot, Jan Mild and Stefan Milas in 14th.
Rounding out the field in the 94 is James Mullen.
Glad you are with us here today for the final broadcast here of the Absolute Beginner Leagues. We hope you enjoyed the season. We hope to come back and do it for you again. They fire up their next round. Beautiful weather to go racing. We've had a few sessions with rain. And they begin to pace their way around. When we do Formula Eagle, we get a standing start. Here we have a rolling start, so we'll get to take a look at an entire lap. You heard Shaggy take you through a little bit of it. This time we get to do it at a much leisurely pace behind the perfectly mesmerizing Josie Kirkland manning the pace car. She has all the drivers behind her under control. Here comes a nice set of rhythm S's when you get through here, Shaggy. This is really fun if you get the left and rights working right.
Yeah, and this is going to be one of those, you talked about turn 5 being a heavy passing section. Well, you can kind of set the guy up in front of you to fail a little bit here going through the S's. If you act like you're going to dive bomb him, he's got to take the inside of the corner, and you can float out, carry all your speed on the exit of the S's, and that's what's important. Slow in, fast out.
That corner right there, I have crashed equally amount of times to the outside and to the inside. So you get down this long, we'll call it, really it's the second straight of the racetrack. You get down here, there might be a few chances through these two right-handers. But this is corner number 7, and Shaggy, you gotta get this one right, because if you don't get good exit speed, you pay for it for a long, long time.
Not as long as the straightaway we saw at Mount Panorama last week, but pretty close. Like you said, you're going to pay for it. And, going uphill, it's real bumpy. You're not really going to be able to throw any blocks on anybody. You can unsettle the car. So kind of run what you brung going down this straightaway. You got to set yourself up for success.
Then you heard about Shaggy talking about throwing blocks. Well, you are really in a tough situation if you want to defend coming into this chicane, because if you defend to track left, which would be the inside of the first part of the chicane, well, then you're not the most advantageous exit through there. And again, if you defend track right, well, you might get passed early on. Here it comes. So you just don't know how to handle it. This is really exciting. Then they're on full throttle. You have to be a little bit careful about pit entrance here. We won't have pit stops, so that's good. But sometimes slowing down for pit lane can bite in the racing line here at Road Atlanta. All right, the pace car is in. It's time to go green. And there you have it, our points leader in control of the field. It's Marcus Byfeld. Gather up the chickens, take cover behind the cows, because the horses are out of the barn. And it is indeed Byfeld leading the stampede down to the first corner. Burns right behind him. All right, the newcomer. He's making a name for himself. Oh, no, that's Neil Bamber in third. I thought it was somebody else. Roman, in fact, there, too.
No, yeah, Alice Kanak passed for second there over David Burns. He got a good jump there going down the straightaway. Just accelerated right when Byfeld took advantage. And, he may be a newcomer suit, but he knows you can't let Byfeld check out. You got to go.
He did that so quickly, it surprised me. So nice job there. So let's set the table for you then. It is Byfeld and Kanak running 1, 2, Burns. You know, Burns getting passed on the first lap, Shaggy, something we've seen more than a few times this season.
Yeah, I hate rubbing salt in the wound, man, but he was the first person to admit early on in the season in an interview, he just struggles on those restarts. You know, some people just don't have that go get it on cold tires, and Soup, I'm one of them. You know, it's hard enough to drive one of these things, but when the tires are ice cold, it's so much more difficult.
Mistake made by Milan Halmas as he's going to lose a position there going into the chicane. Veteran Ludwig Sauer in the blue car made that pass. So Sauer moves up a position. Everybody racing relatively clean. We're getting it all through. 20 minutes of racing on tap.
Everybody's pretty much single file right now. Not anybody really going for a pass here, Sue.
Beifeld doing his best to open it up a bit. Look a little bit bad. Those Burns. There's Beifeld. You can see him begin to distance. Let's go drop back now to the driver in second. This is Canuck as he is under attack from Burns. Burns about 3 car lengths back, trying to close in the draft. That is a BMW being chased by a Porsche. Look at Burns close up there, getting into the chicane. Really good under braking. A little bit of the accordion effect, but Burns made up about 2 or 3 car lengths there as they did the chicane for the second time this race. Be right on board now with, I believe that is Burns. Yes, looking up at Burns, and oh, he gets a good run now. This is interesting. Does he go right? Does he go left? He's got a good run through this twisty section.
Took a little too much curve there. He saw he lost a little momentum. He's trying to be a little too aggressive, but he's got him in his sights. He knows he's quicker. He's just got to reel him in. There's a mistake. Alice overran a little bit, got in the sand, but not enough for Burns to be able to make a run down here.
Right now, Beifeld driving away with it, but stick around. We have another 20-minute race after this one, and they'll have to put Marcus in the 5th position, so it'll be fun to work his way through the field. Let's stay on 2nd position right now. I just think Burns is looking to make a spot here, unless he's just, well, he's back too far again. He's just not getting a really great exit out of 7, so by the time he gets up to the chicane, he's in the toe. Just not a lot of time for him to make the move.
And, you know, Soup here, 3 different makes in the top 3. Some of them, you know, Alice here, his BMW, they favor top speed a little bit, whereas that Porsche behind him, not as good on the top speed, but you see, handles well in the corner. It's really, you know, it's a loose is fast kind of concept. It's hard to drive, but, man, it really sets itself up for exit. And you see there, he really makes up time coming off corner and just takes a little too much curb again.
Well, Shaggy, that's great, because that explains explains what's going on here as Burns clearly gathers up through the technical section. And I think we should also include Neil Bamber as Bambi starts to close in as well. Let's stay on this, then we're going to cover another battle, but I want to stay on this for one more lap all the way through 7. And let's see if the Porsche has anything for the BMW in top line speed. Okay, Burns gets a much better run out of 7 this time. He's in the toe. This might be his opportunity.
Yeah, and you see he is in the toe, but even with that, Soup, not really pulling like you'd think, you know? It just it doesn't necessarily have that power. He's going to have to outbrake him and just use that handling disadvantage.
About a half car length back now. He moves to the inside, and he's going to have to wait. That allows Bamber to close right up in the Ferrari. So it'll be fun to watch those 3 guys. We're going to come back to it. I want to talk about this battle a little farther back. There's a nice 3-car battle a little bit farther. Let's look back at car number 910. It's a new driver, Sebastian Derrida. He's racing right now in 8th position. Got a little bit of distance on Vladimir Sedskal. We see Sedskal every race. He's out there doing what he does, just racing mid-pack again. And Klaus Loudon back there. We like to give everybody a little bit of love. Oh, going very wide. That is Derrida, and he's going to lose 1 spot. Boy, my spidey senses were tingling.
And, you know, I just put 2 and 2 together here, Soup. Look at that paint job of Vladimir Stedschul, and then look at the paint job of Alice Canuck. I think we've got two teammates here.
There you go. That's always nice. Indeed. All right, let's go back up and look at Canuck in second. Burns has got to make this move here. They have really distanced Bamber a bit. Burns with another bite of the apple. Look at him defend to the driver left. A little bit of what we call a Hornish drift. If anyone is old enough to remember Sam Hornish, that's a technique where you just kind of slowly drift yourself across the track. And I think, Shaggy, Burns has no illusion of being able to sketch Byfield. So right now, I think he's just going to sit back here and work on second spot.
Yeah, he's going to be smart there. He's trying to back up corners as well as he can. You see, he's all over him on exit. He's got to work right here. Not as much curb that time, so he got to stay a little bit closer. But man, when that BMW gets on the hammer, it just goes on acceleration. And Burns, by the time that toe starts to help him, it's already into a braking zone. And we know how nice he can be sometimes. And as a race car driver, sometimes it's not always good to be too nice. He needs to go get those elbows out. I think he's got a lot more speed than he's showing.
Let's stay with these guys all the way down into the chicane. Then we're going to jump back and talk about car number 7, Milan Holmas, who's in a battle. But right now, let's see if Burns can make this pass one more time. We keep watching every shot he has down into the chicane. I don't think he's going to do it right now. Look how they are distancing themselves from Bamber. Not going to happen. Let's jump back to car number 7. And Ludwig Sauer is in pursuit. Look at Sauer closing that sky blue machine. He really closes up on the back of Milan Halmas. This is a battle for 6th spot. Let's leave that one and drop back to 8th position. This is a 3-car battle. Sedskol, the newcomer Derrida, and then Klaus Loudon.
Yeah, not too far behind him, Jan Mild. It's almost a 4-car battle here. And actually, Stefan Mali right there. So one hiccup from Stedschul. He's got 4 cars right behind him that are hungry. So he's leading the pack right now.
It's fun indeed. So much to watch. We are jumping around a little bit because we like to cover everybody. All right, well, we're going to corner number 7 again. This is the man in second. Elise Canuck. Let's see if Burns tries it this time. Bamber much closer now. What we really need to do is find a stationary camera that gets the chicane. It'd be nice if we have something that showed the whole front straight, because this is where the action is. We'll do this, and we'll drop back to the next battle. No pass being made there. There are guys oh, those are lap cars back there. That is behind those guys is Gregory Nutley. He's a lap down. And then there is Roman Barron. Oh, we got him spin. Let's look at car number 910. It happened going into the chicane. That's Barron on the inside, working for the spot. It just wasn't there. And then he got a little bit of help from Klaus Loudon. Really, Loudon didn't have anywhere to go as Barron got into the back of Vladimir Sejdak.
Yeah, and that was one of those places, not a lot of runoff area there. So the car impacted at high speed. That thing got tore up.
There is a fast repair, but really with just a 20-minute race, you're pretty much your goose is cooked here. And that allowed car number 54, Stefan Milas, now to get into the mix. We like Stefan Milas, right?
Burns is maybe making a move here for second here, guys.
Finally gets to look to the inside, and he gets it done, and Bamber is not going to force the issue as they race between a Georgian cloud that is passing over, bringing a little shade to the track, and now Burns can set sail. All right, let's go back to this 4-car battle that's led by Sedgjack. Here comes a move, working on the inside on the front straight. This is Klaus Loudon taking a peek. Loudon spies, he tries, but Sedgjack denies, and he's going to lose momentum, and that's going to open it up for Jan Mile. Mile trying to get in there. He loses momentum, and now the man in the very back, Stefan Mielis, making his name heard.
Oh, but he's just going to back out of it and fall in line. But, man, you saw perfect textbook. Two guys get pinched on the inside of corners, exit, and, wow, I mean, just the trouble that it got him into.
We know a little bit of about Stefan Mielis. What do we know about him, Shaggy?
You know, he is a DJ in his part-time. Soup, I can't remember it was old school music, and what was the other one here?
He's a Belgian DJ that produces old school and techno music.
Techno, that's what it was. Yeah. Oh man, you know, I wish we would have known that gold all season.
Oh,
something that we stumbled on.
We would have mined that one for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, maybe he could have gave us a beat to put on whenever there was like a techno pass or something. We could have went hard with that.
Techno DJ, Stefan Mielis. He's trying to get into rhythm right now. So that battle has kind of broken up into two.
You know, the dead giveaway, he's got the Tomorrowland Festival on his rear bumper. That should have been the giveaway, that he's a DJ. I never noticed that either. It's all coming together.
There you go. Let's leave that battle. We'll move up to Stechkel and Loudon. A couple things. We've seen that. Now that Burns has made his way into second, we'll check back in on Neil Bamber and see if he has anything for Alice Kunuk as well. Let's stay on this battle here for Sedgkel for 8th spot. Mind you, all this going on behind Marcus Byfeld. Nothing happening here. Let's stay with these guys all the way down the back straight into the chicane. Klaus Loudon has been a regular this season, showing up not only in these GT3 cars, but in the open wheelers as well. Boy, a great run from that BMW. Again, you can see straight line speed from the BMW over the Porsche. Similar situation that we saw earlier. Same two car makes, right, that we were looking at with Burns and Kunuk, right?
Yep. Yeah.
BMW really pulls.
Right now, I mean, he's running out of time, but the guy in P5, Roman Duran, he's been in a little rhythm of his own. He's been finding some quick speed, and with those guys battling ahead, maybe Neil Bamber and Kunuk, if they make a mistake, he's right there. But I think he wants to finish 5th place here, so start on the pole here for Heat 2.
That's right. That's the key position to be in. Let's jump up and look at the battle just ahead of him. This is Kunuk and Bamber. Bamber looking to get a good run out of corner number 7, and he does. Now let's see if he can get that Ferrari moving. He's about 2 car lengths back. He's in the toe. Not making up the kind of ground that I would expect, but this is a long straight. There's a hill to climb up. Let's see if he can force it under braking. 1 car length back, half a car length back, moving to the outside. A little bit again of the Hornish drift up there from Kunuk as they go through the chicane. Not going to happen. Bamber loses a lot of momentum. He'll have to try it one more time. It's got about 5.5 minutes more to get it done.
Yeah, and you know, not only does that hurt Bamber, but when Kunuk goes defensive, that let Burns gap him by 4/10 that corner. So, you know, if Bamber wants a shot at second here, he's got to be real smart about how he makes a shot here for 3rd. He doesn't want to let Burns pull too far away from him.
People beginning to separate out. I'm going to jump you around again to car number 6. This is Klaus Loudon racing in 9th spot. He's got about a 5 car length lead over Jan Mild, and then back there watching is Stefan Mielis. We saw these guys very close together. I would imagine through this twisty section that they might be able to make a run out of 7. I can tell you this, that Bamber doesn't have anything right now for Kunuk on the back straights. Go ahead, Shaggy.
Oh, Jan Mild had overran a little bit in the Ford GT, and Malee, he pulled and made it a double file, and then he went out on the sand. They both saved it, but wow, I thought they were both going to wreck.
Indeed, so Loudon has pulled away, so let's look at Mild now as he's within striking distance is Milas. I think the problem with Milas is, as a DJ, he'd probably be faster if he could race with like music in his headphones, but that distracts from the squeal of the tires, so he's really at a disadvantage.
I think every time he passes someone, a disco ball should come out of the room, blind the competition.
The techno DJ. Maybe a battle to look at. We're going to jump you up car number 7 in 6th position. This is Milan Halamas, a new driver. Veteran Ludwig Sauer in his sky blue machine trying to run him down, but boy, the interval is quite a long way. Let's check back in on 3rd spot. Amber with another shot at it. I hope you guys took your Dramamine, your seasickness medicine, because we are jumping you around today, aren't we, folks? Oh, we ride on board with Bambi. Look at those beautiful Georgian billows pushing down on the racetrack. We head into the left part of the screen, the second part. Let's stay on this for a minute. Let your stomach settle a bit. Come around here. There's pit entrance off to the right. Bamber with a good run through the final corner on full throttle. Too short of a straightaway to get it done here. Now through the twisty sections. This will be fun, especially with an onboard camera. Look at him gather up the car in front. Woo!
Yeah, I mean, Canuck just took a wide line, and you saw Neil. I mean, he hugged the inside. That thing really stuck. If Canuck wasn't there, he would have had a quick first sector, and that's where I'm saying he's got to be smart about this.
Oh, he got loose.
Here's his chance.
That's my corner. That's the corner I worry about. Corner number 5. He got loose there. He didn't put the car in the wall, but that was a little... Oh, and then he gets loose in front of him.
What a save, though. He's still hanging on. Still in 4th place, and I mean, he's got time to gather it up, but he's got to go. Here comes Roman.
Woo, look at that one. It looks like a car commercial. Oh, man. That'll make you want to go out and buy yourself a Ferrari. That was beautiful.
Yeah, and that's where Canuck did exactly what he had to do. He knew he didn't have enough momentum there to make a lunge, but he just stuck the car on the inside, and, just filling up the passenger mirror there can get in the driver's head, and Bambi carries a little too much speed in there and just loses grip.
Well, if you're going to lose a position, you might as well lose it in style, and that was really fun to watch. All right, there's that battle we've been watching. That's Loudon and Milas. This is a battle for 10th. Everybody racing pretty much in the position that they started. Big mover would be Jan Mild. He is up 4 spots. Well, come on. As is Vladimir Sechko as well.
Yeah, top 5 running exactly how they started. I was hoping Bambi was going to go shake that up a little bit, but man, he one hell of a punch there. He tried.
About 30 seconds of racing to go. Our leader right now coming out of the final corner. I believe he's going to get the white flag this time around.
White flag is waving.
This man has been very, very dominant this season. We're talking about Marcus Byfield. We've been focusing on a lot of the other drivers throughout the field. Let's turn our attention up here to the leader as he negotiates Road Atlanta for the final time. Through the twisty sections, he has won 6 out of the 8 races that we've had so far. Looking to make it 7 out of 9 today. Through corner number 5. And Shaggy, I think it's safe to say once he negotiates corner 6, 7, and then the chicane and the final corner, he'll earn enough points to have clinched the championship.
Yeah, even with Burns finishing 2nd here, I believe that's going to do it for him. And as we've seen, he's been the class of the field, so well-deserved championship here for Marcus Byfield.
There is a chance that maybe Roman Barron can get to Neil Bamber, we'll take a look at that as that's where we're going to go. We're going to assume that Burns gets second and Canuck will get third. As we watch Byfield negotiate the final corner and pick up yet another win as he comes across the line, and we're going to call him the champion of season 36. Let's go back to Bamber and watch him defend. Within shouting distance is Barron, but he's not going to get there. So Bamber will get fourth, and I don't know if Roman is all that disappointed coming fifth. And for somehow we assumed, and my dad told me never assume because it makes an ass out of you and me. Alas Kanak, who we thought was going to finish in third, is out.
He blinked out. He blinked out and came back. iRacing gave him credit for third, but I saw the same thing. He did blink out for a long time, but iRacing gave him credit for third. So
I see it on the official timing and scoring. May not show up on our, as we look at our standings up there, those are unofficial. You'll see him farther down the list. iRacing did score him in third as he blinked away for a minute. All right, the racing is over, but wait, there's another race coming on, so don't go far. Go to the refrigerator, get yourself a little snack, something Georgian. How about some peanut butter on bread? That would be good because peanuts are from Georgia. Come back, and we'll give you a whole nother 20 minutes of racing in the second sprint. Don't go far.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Road Atlanta and VGN's final round coverage of the Andy Morgan Cup, the 36th season sanctioned by the Absolute Beginner League. You know, the best part about any doubleheader is the break between the races. It's the perfect blend of the post-race high and the pre-race jitters. And with race number 9 now in the books, let's give you the results, but don't go far because the second half of the doubleheader coming up in just a minute. Now, this is going to be a little bit confusing. What you see on the tower is not quite going to be what it actually turned. Oh, it is, by the way. We fixed it. Okay. So here's your finishing order. Your winner was indeed Marcus Byfield with David Third Degree Burns, with Elise Canuck running in third. Neil Bamber and Roman Barron go fourth and fifth. Those drivers will invert with Barron starting on the pole. Then the back half of your top 10, Milan Halmas, Ludig Sauer, Vladimir Senchel put on a nice show. Jan Mild got 9th, and then Klaus Loudon rounds out the top 10. There's just a few left for Shaggy.
Yeah, Stefan Mali, our DJ friend's gonna start. He finished 11th, so he'll roll off the next one in P11. James Molyneux finished 12th. Gregory Nutley's gonna finish P13. Sebastian Dorita, we saw his spin, a nasty hit in the wall. He finished P14th. And Mike Neekum, he finished 15th and isn't currently in the session anymore. So I think we're going to be short a car here in the next one.
So there are some drivers to keep an eye on, though. Doritas is going to start well down the order in 14th, but that's not because of pace. He just made a mistake. We saw him put on quite a show. So Sebastian has the talent and the chops to move his way up a little bit. Okay. You want to talk about big movers, guys who picked up some position. Jan Mild was up 4 spots in the opening round. So was Vladimir Sejko. So they both had really nice runs. Burns lost the position early, as he often does, and then got it back working around Alus Canuck. He finishes in second right where he started. Let's see if Burns can have a better beginning to a race. He really can't afford to lose many more positions. He's going to start in 4th. Shaggy, you surely don't want to lose a spot when you got Marcus Byfield behind you. It's going to be hard enough to get around him. You hate to give it away on the first lap.
No, and you know, inside they're going to have the advantage here in turn 1, but that quickly turns to the disadvantage here going into that real quick S. So Burns just needs to plant his foot in the throttle here on the start and make sure he holds ground behind Bamber. We watched how fast Bamber was through this section, and if Burns can tail onto that here, he should have a good ride.
We really didn't get to see Roman Barron show us what he had, as he raced pretty much that entire race a lonely man back there. Really had nobody in front of him, nobody behind him, just putting in clean laps. We know that Bamber is really good through the twisty section, and you said it, I'm not sure if starting on the outside and maybe palling around corner number 1 is not where I'd want to be on the starting grid here. Bamber may be in the best spot.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking here. It's you know, theoretically, you're supposed to have the advantage here if you start on the right, but man, that quickly turns into the disadvantage, and especially with these rolling starts. If Burns or if Bambi can just, you know, get a good run here and keep Roman pinched down in turn 1, he's in a good spot.
So then we talk about the start a little bit more. You have Burns sitting on the outside, the left side of row number 2, with Canuck back there, and then right behind Burns, well, that's going to be Milas Halma. So it's interesting because Burns went 4th and Byfield went 5th. Byfield doesn't line up behind Burns, which maybe gives Byfield even more of an opportunity to pick a spot.
Yeah, I think it's kind of hurting him right now. You're seeing a lot of the other guys speed up, slow down, speed up, slow down. They're trying to get heat in the tires.
Yeah.
Haven't really seen the 15 of Canuck doing any of that. So Byfield's got to be kind of worried here starting behind him. You don't want to go into a that one behind somebody with ice cold tires.
That and one of the advantages, and actually one of the fun parts about league racing, is you get to know the guys around you. You get to learn the way they race. Well, Canuck is a rookie. He's never seen him before, unless he knows him from other iRacing events. This is a learning experience for Byfield. The good news for Byfield is 20 minutes is an eternity for him. Gather up the chickens, take cover behind the cows, because the horses are out of the barn, and the first horse out is Roman Baird. He wasted no time. He must have been listening to the broadcast, said, Soup, I don't care where I start. I'm just going to beat Bamber down into the first quarter to make this an academic question. So Bamber tucks into second. Canuck will be in third. Hey, David Burns is able to hold positions on the start.
And Milan Halmis may be the first person all season to pass Marcus Byfeld on lap 1. But he stuck it in there on the outside, made Byfeld get uncomfortable, and he passed him. It's going to be a big deal for everybody up front.
Let's actually watch the battle for 5th position right now as Byfeld is all on the back. We're going to ignore the leaders. There is a close battle for second. Canuck is looking on the back of Bamber. I'm going to change up. Let's go up to Bamber in second position. I think Canuck has a shot at this. Oh my goodness, they are all lined up down this back stretch. Who's going to be first to punch, to move out? You can see them kind of weave and follow each other, snake down this line. I think maybe Byfield might be able to make a move. Nobody ducking out, Shaggy.
Yeah, no, Byfeld, he knows he's got to make a move. I mean, he's going to have to force the issue. He did not expect to get blindsided and lose a spot there. And, I mean, you see he's definitely quicker, but, he's going to force the issue here maybe, but
on the final corner. This is how you can race when the championship is locked up. Oh, he thinks better of it, and he backs out a little bit as we side by side with all of us. This is some great racing. Look at Byfield working, trying to make passes in places you're not supposed to.
No, yeah, and you got to think the last 3 corners we just saw right there had to be half a second to the leaders. So Roman is absolutely loving this, you know, new guy on the block, and he's leading the pack here, Soup, but he's off track.
Mistake from the leader, and there goes one. That is the opportunity that Neil Bamber needed. Bambi to the front. Only losing one spot was Barron.
And Halmus wrecked in your trouble corner right in front of Beifeld. Beifeld got through no problem, but Halmus' car is destroyed, Soup.
Corner number 5, we'll see if we can get a replay of that one. A lot happening, we'll jump to it real quick. There it is, boom, and that's a hard hit. I told you, you can make mistakes to the outside, you can make mistakes to the inside. That is a horrible corner.
We need to go live on this car, on Halmus. He is keeping up with the back of the pack without a front end. This is crazy.
Meanwhile, a battle for second position as that's going on. Canuck in a battle right side by side with Barron. Barron, who made the one mistake a few laps ago, has lost the lead. Now he's lost second. Now he's lost third. With momentum is Marcus Beifeld. Beifeld trying to move to the outside. And Barron says, not on my watch, Marcus. Marcus says, I'm not done yet. I can pass you wherever I want. Great racing going on for this battle farther back.
Marcus wants it so bad, but it's just, it's almost impossible to make a move here, but he's trying to make him uncomfortable like he did Halmus here coming up through turn 5. This is where you can get into trouble.
This is the beauty of an inverted grid. Beifeld using up all the track now. Is he going to make a move down here? He really doesn't need to make a move through 5 and 6. If he just wants to be a little bit patient, he's got him set up out of corner number 7. It should be a done deal. Nothing going on in front of him, so the action is right now with Beifeld. Beifeld, look at Beifeld's going to make the move. He doesn't need the draft. He gets it on corner exit. There side, but now it's a drag race. You know what? He might have made his move too soon.
Yeah, but Burns is side by side and passing for second, so he's got a line. He's got a guy to pull from here, Soup. That's the best thing could have happened for him.
Burns will get second position safely. Canuck, and then rolling the top side is Beifeld as he picks that spot up on Barron. What was interesting is that Beifeld got such a great exit out of 7. There was really no draft to be made. He just had to do it on his own, and then he had the cars in front of him. So now Beifeld sets sail. Next on his hit list is the new one, Alice Canuck. All this going on behind Bandy. What a way to close out the season for Neil Bamber if he could get a win. That would be a sweet off season.
He's definitely smooth out there. I mean, he's taking turn 5 real aggressive, but we've said it so many times, the good guys, they just don't know how to turn it off. You got to put down fast laps all the time, or these guys behind you are going to run you down in no time.
That's great. There's the car peeking to the inside. That's not going to happen. Well, let's go look at Sebastian Dorita. We talked about him in the pre-race before we went. We thought that he would be somebody to keep an eye on, and sure enough, he has moved up. Started in 14th place. He's now racing in 7th. Cut that in half. He's got a ways to go to get to Klaus Loudon, but I think Dorita probably has the speed, so we'll keep an eye on that. We'll watch him close in on it. We're going to jump you up a little bit farther. Canuck. You can see on the tower the interval between Canuck as he's being chased by Beifeld, and look at the pass going on right there. That was Melise, our DJ, making a move. Good racing. This is one of the also nature of the beast when you have drivers and you're able to invert the grid a little bit. It makes for a little more exciting when you don't necessarily have Marcus Beifeld, your fastest drive, running away with it.
Beifeld getting a big run, though, out of turn 5. Not going to be enough to make a move, but, man, that's going to have Canuck thinking.
Again, let's see if Beifeld is so quick off of corner. I don't know. There's not much he can do when he's so much faster on corner exit. Boy, he's right there. Hard to get a toe when you're this quick. You don't really get much of a slingshot. This is going to have to be a power move. He moves the Ferrari to the inside. Half a car length. They're going to have to go side by side through the chicane. This is not going to work. He's going to have to force it. Here's what I talk about. Best chicane on the iRacing platform. And that's why it didn't work. But now the dipsy-do, the hokey-doke, the up and under. Now through the final corner, he's in the preferred racing position. It's a drag race. Cialis Bathtubs across the line. They're going to give credit for Byfield leading that position. He should be able to finish the deal. Shaggy to corner number 1. I think he gets it done.
Yeah, I think Canuck backed out a little early, tried to go for a crossover, but we've seen people try that all day. You're just not going to get that crossover attempt coming out of turn 1. You've got to pinch the guy in there, make him uncomfortable. But I think Canuck kind of, you sense the speed behind you, and it makes you can. Now Byfeld, we got to see if he's got time to run these front 2 down.
Talk about the front 2. Let's go there now. Bambi's had it his own way the whole race. He got out there in front, started in second position, got to the lead. He's been racing fine, but now David Burns. Both these guys would like to wrap up the season in victory lane. Both UK drivers.
And they both want to do it with that guy in third place behind them. I can tell you what, they both want to end the season with that guy in the rearview mirror.
Yeah, if they talk about it and say, maybe we can race together, is there any way the 2 of us can race faster nose to tail? If we do make a pass, can we do it cleanly so we don't bring that other guy into the mix? Coming across the line right now, both of them sipping on a cup of tea. They come across the line, starting their 7th lap. Still a long, long, long time of racing to go.
Yeah, there is, and he's cut that gap down to 1.5 seconds, Marcus Byfeld has, so it's going to be a lap or 2, and he's going to start getting draft here. So Burns, we know he likes to be patient. We saw him do it at Mount Panorama last week, but sometimes you just got to throw patience out the window. If he's got any speed over Bambi, you got to go. You got to put a car in between you 2.
Well, he can afford to be patient if he doesn't think he's faster than Bamber, but if he thinks Bamber's holding him up, he's got to get this done and try to put some distance between him and Byfeld. He's beaten Byfeld before, so he knows it can be done. Love this camera shot. Boy, it tells the whole picture. The car, the biggest in your screen, that is David Burns, and then the car that's right behind Burns. Dave, could you move your car a little bit over so we can take a look at Byfeld? As they come over the hill, you might be able to see Byfeld over the top of the rise here. You see him? There he is. He's a-coming. Boy, that shot really showed you why they call Road Atlanta the roller coaster, as they went over the hill, and you could actually see there's all 3 cars there again. Burns stalking him through the twisty section. We're going to stay on this one a little bit because it's such good racing. Bamber missed last round, did not like the long course of Germany, the green hell, the Nürburgring. Back here because everybody loves Road Atlanta. If you don't like Road Atlanta, you don't like ice cream.
I agree.
Look where Byfeld is now. He's coming in a hurry.
Yeah, last time around ran a 1:18.55, fastest lap of the race. So tires are starting to warm up. Fuel load's starting to lighten. He's got himself a quick race car.
We're going to stay on this one all the way through down into the chicane, and then we're going to jump back and talk about a battle that's going on for 7th position. We talked about Loudon and then Sebastian Dorita. He's coming. We mentioned Dorita early on, but I don't want to leave this right now because I think we're just as likely to see a pass for the lead as we are to see a pass for second, and it wouldn't surprise me if Byfeld gets a 2 for here.
He'd definitely love to see Burns make a late lunge and get to capitalize on both those guys getting slow exit speeds, but he's smart. He knows he's got time, only about halfway through. Just pick them off one by one here.
Burns, if maybe Burns and Bamber can get together and just race side by side for the next 9.5 minutes. Be impossible to make the pass through the twisty section.
It's a good idea. Almost strap them together like a wide load going down the highway.
Byfeld just taking a peek. David Burns has been racing for many a lap. He's not a guy you're really going to fluster. To Burns' advantages, he does have the toe that he can pick up from Bamber in front. Is there an advantage to being third in line, do you think, Shaggy?
you know, you kind of feel helpless because as close as he is to Burns right now, if he ducks out and makes a move, Burns stays in line and gets the pull from Bamber. So
Got it.
it kind of puts you in a rock and a hard place there. He's getting big exit speed, but even if he looks to the inside, he's not going to be able to hold the momentum. But he was able to trick Burns into running the inside a little bit, so that's going to slow Burns' exit speed. He may think about looking to the outside here. Nope, going to stay in line.
We pride ourselves in showing you battles all through the field, but right now this one is too good to get away from. It's the most exciting battle. It is the most significant battle. It has the most consequences as it is a battle for the lead. And they are nose to tail, and the strategy is fun to watch. Is tire wear an issue? Do you think it's is that something that a driver could race harder than he needs to and maybe slow the car down?
I'd love to add to the drama and tell you yes, but truthfully, these things are almost at their best at around the 35-minute mark once all that fuel loads burn off. I mean, that's why you see guys really extend fuel runs in these things. I mean, they're the good guys, you know, a la Max Verstappen and them back in the day, when iRacing and when you used to pit in these things, they wouldn't change tires and fill fuel.
That was wonderful. Love that.
Yeah, those guys, you know, they would extend 2, sometimes 3 stints. So 1 stint, normally not a problem, especially when we do these 20 minutes.
I've done many a GT3 broadcast when that was the rule, and man, guys would run the tires to the rim because you had to do fuel and tires separately. Look at this. Beifeld takes a peek. Burns does a little bit of defense. They race nose to tail. All this going on behind Neil Bamber, who has just hidden his marks. He's been so smooth. Smooth as dolphin skin. Smooth as a bikini wax. As a new jar of peanut butter.
Yeah, Bamber absolutely loves this because he's doing what he needs to do. He's not setting lightning speeds, but Beifeld makes Burns go defensive every other corner. And, I mean, that's Bambi's best friend right now. So he's rooting for Burns. He's a big Burns fan.
Now watch Beifeld. This is where Beifeld is really good. Not down the toe, but just getting the exit out of 7. Now it's a matter of, well, manufacturers play such a big degree here. That's a Ferrari against a Porsche, and then the Ferrari of Bamber leading the way. Nothing happening. Still plenty of time. Burns taking his half right out of the middle. They go through the chicane. What's interesting about Beifeld is you never know where he's going to make the move, Shaggy. If he sees an opening, he'll stick it in there, be at the final corner. Burns gets out on the grass, and there's a mistake. Oh, David, you made me a liar. I said you wouldn't get shaken, and you were.
Oh man, and if you're Bamber, you gotta be shaking in your boots a little bit now. You know, you don't love seeing that 105 behind you. And if you're Burns, you just got to hope Bamber gets defensive and maybe opens the door for Burns to get back into P2. But, man, that 105 smooth right now.
Indeed, there was no bigger fan of David third-degree Burns than Neil Bamber was there, as Burns was the cushion between him and Marcus Beifeld. Well, now Beifeld's all over the back. But this may be an opportunity for Burns if he can get a good run off of here. See if he can make Beifeld do a little bit of thinking. I've been told by many a driver that in a 3-car battle, the hardest position to be in is second.
I think, too, when you got a guy running up front who hasn't won a race yet this season, Bamber, if you're him, you got to hang it all out. That's not the guy I'd want to try to pass right now. You know, he wants this win way more than you do, believe it or not, Marcus. You know, he wants this thing bad, so if you're going to make a pass on him, you better have a run because I think that Marlboro machine's going to get wide.
Indeed, as Bamber takes it down. I will admit that Bamber does look incredibly smooth. Now, I don't want to jinx him. I said that Burns was not frustrable. And Burns has really lost touch with these guys, probably picked up a slowdown penalty. With that said, our leaders now negotiate themselves through the scariest corner on the track, corner number 5, and they're coming up right here, and they get it going. And then Bamber with a good run. All right, Shaggy, you talked about Bamber wanting to make the car as wide as a Julia Roberts smile. What side of the track do you defend here coming out of 7? You defend tracks. Driver left, driver right.
Oh, man, put me in a tough spot, but I feel like you got to take the right side. Byfeld, he's a good driver. He's probably not going to dive bomb you, so you can't really give him the inside.
Okay.
But at the same time, you can't give him the outside on corner exits. So like you said, got to get a little Sam Ornish in you.
I think Bamber has decided as he weaves his way down the middle. It was not blocking, but he certainly was not declaring what side of the track he wanted. Byfeld is not out of the possibility of passing going into that final corner there. He loves coming out of the chicane. He gets a good run. He loves it down the front straight. Look at Bamber now. Move the car to the right. Turn on the reggae music. If you're going to pass me, you're going to have to do it high, says Neil Bamber. Oh. And it pushes Byfeld off into the grass.
And that's what I said. If you're going to go by, you better have the momentum suit because that guy wants it. He owned the inside of the corner, and he is entitled to get those elbows out. We've seen it week in and week out. And you know, the F1, IndyCar, he's entitled. That's his. And we saw a guy finally take advantage of the inside corner, or the inside of the corner.
Okay, we're going to take a quick peek back at car number 910. This is Sebastian Dorita. He's been chasing Klaus Loudon for a long time. He hasn't got there yet, but he is in 7th position. Remember, he started back in the 14th spot, and he's cut that in half, and he's trying to run them down. We don't need to stand. Just wanted to highlight those two guys in a battle for 6th. Also, let's go ahead and talk about the drivers in 3rd and 4th. It's Alice Kanak. He was racing up there with the front guys early. He's falling back, and then there he is again. Roman Barron just kind of doing what he does in 5th position, racing by himself. And with that said, let's turn our attention back up in front. Now, did the mistake allow Burns to catch back in? Burns really does not have the pace for these guys right now. And Bamber makes a mistake, and that's going to be the opportunity. Oh, my goodness. He hasn't given up yet, but Byfeld now to the inside through corner number 1. Is he going to finish the deal? He does. And Shaggy, Byfeld did not have to make an honest pass there as he was able to get Burns and Bamber both to make a mistake.
Yeah, and you know, we didn't get the white flag that time. I was watching the flag, man. It was really close, so we'll probably get it next time by. But man, Bamber, he's going to be kicking himself. I mean, not to beat him up, he knows it. But when he kind of got those elbows out and pushed Byfeld off with only 2 more to go, he had this suit. All he had to do was keep it on the track, and man, that's going to be a tough pill to swallow.
He did, and that's a pill you have to swallow and taste for the whole offseason. We talked about how sweet it would be to end the season with a win. Well, how bitter will it be to end the season having given away the win? Let's look at the battle now for 2nd. We are on the white flag lap, so we go around one more time here. This is Bamber. Now here comes Burns coming back. Well, who knows? Maybe Byfeld will make a mistake. And perhaps the sun will not rise tomorrow. Final corner for Marcus Byfeld for the final lap of the final race, of the final round, of the final stop of season 36 for the Andy Morgan Cup. We are here at Road America. Byfeld is going to close out the championship in style. Let's go ahead and turn our attention back to 2nd. You can see them in the back. We'll come across and get Byfeld as he comes across the line. Bamber certainly doesn't want to make this any more bitter and lose 2nd spot. Kanak and Barron look safely in 3rd and 4th. Loudon is going to hold down, 4th and 5th. Loudon's going to hold down 6th. Dorita did not get up to Loudon. Okay, we're going to jump you around. We're going to stay on this battle for 2nd. Meanwhile, I'm going to call the leader as he's heading towards the chicane, but our cameras is going to stay on the battle for 2nd right now. Burns 2 car lengths back, not making up any ground. Our leader still not to the chicane. Burns 1.5 car lengths back, nothing there. Burns is going to run out of real estate. They go through the chicane. Let's go to the leader. He's heading into the final corner. The final stop, the final race of season 36. The win goes to your championship champion, Marcus Byfeld. Neil Bamber holds on for 2nd. David Burns gets 3rd, coming across in 4th. It was the newcomer Alex Kanak with Roman Barron in 5th. Klaus Loudon, the veteran, holds on to 6th position. Sebastian Dorita did a great job coming through the field. We knew he'd be good. 7th position when he started in 14th. We did not get a lot of attention to Vladimir Sechko. He's going to come across to 8th. Jan Mild is in a battle. Let's look at Jan Mild. He's in a close one. He's trying to hold off. That is Gregory Nutley. Nutley finishes on the lead lap. He didn't do that in the opening round. Nutley with the 10th. Mild 9th. Ludik Sauer, the veteran, had some trouble. He'll finish in 11th position. Milos Hamas in 12th. And then the last 3 drivers, James Molyneux, Stefan Milas, and, well, Mike Neekum didn't take the grid. Don't go far. We're going to take a short break. We'll come back and run down the entire order that I just did for you, but we'll do it again because we like to do it here in VGN. We'll close up shop and tell you when to watch us again. You're watching VGN.
This is iRacing, the world's premier online racing game. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat to experience today's newest form of competitive motorsport, virtual racing, all from your home PC. Race virtually in indoor series from NASCAR, IndyCar, IMSA, the World of Outlaws, Aussie Supercars and more. Take on legendary circuits like Daytona, Silverstone and the Nürburgring. Join iRacing's global online racing community and get on track today at iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Road America and VGN's final round coverage of the Andy Morgan Cup, the 36th season sanctioned by the Absolute Beginner League. We opened the show with race number 9. We finished the show with race number 10, the final race on the schedule. Let's give you the results of the 15 drivers. I'll take the top 8. Marcus Byfeld started in 5th, worked his way through the field, actually fell back as far as 6th, came all the way through. Got a hit check from Neil Bamber, and it was Neil Bamber's to win, except a mistake on the second to the last lap that allowed Byfeld by, and he's going to get the win, the championship, and his winning streak continues. Neil Bamber will have a bitter offseason, but he has to take solace in racing so well. He finishes in 2nd. David Third Degree Burns led for a while, but really didn't have much for the guys up front. He'll have to settle for 3rd. 2 new guys, Alice Kanak and Roman Barron. We welcome them back next season because they are going to be fun to keep an eye on. Car number 15 and 81, they go 4th and 5th. Veteran Klaus Loudon really starting to get the feel of how to race these races, comes home in 6th. Sebastian Dorita, another newcomer. He's exciting. He makes a few mistakes, but man, when he gets it going, he can pass, guys. He picks up 7th position, coming from 14th. I'm going to turn over an 8th spot to my partner.
I think you said Stageco, right? In PA, didn't you?
I did not. I'm going to give you 8. I didn't want to take too many. I took 15, cut it in half, and then gave you the benefit of 1. Start on me.
I woke up in a dream. I could have sworn his name there. But yeah, Vladimir Stageco brought home P8. Jan Mild started 9th, came home 9th, but barely. We saw Gregory Nutley, that battle coming over the finish line. He's going to bring it home P10. Ludwig Sauer is going to bring it home 11th. Milan Halmis, the newcomer, brought it home P12, and we saw he was up there, made Byfeld sweat on that first lap, was able to get by him, but then big wreck coming out of turn 5, and was able to finish, but not where he would have liked. James Molyneux is going to bring it home 13th, Stefan Mali 14th, and didn't make the grid, but still gets credit. Mike Neekum is going to bring it home 15th.
And then we have an opportunity to talk to David Third Degree Burns, a man who finished the first race in 2nd position and the second race in 3rd position. David, first of all, we're going to start with your Achilles heel all season has been starts, and my gosh, you lost another position in the first on the start of race number 1.
It's pretty much normal for me, isn't it?
It is.
It's like I'm asleep. You would think a rolling start would have an advantage. No, I'm just too slow on the throttle.
Well, pace an issue for you today. You ran up front, but had a taste of the lead for a little while, but it was tough on both races. Just didn't have. You need another 5%.
Yeah, I could tell Marcus just had the edge in me. He was about 0.2, 0.3 of a second on practice time, and even my time in practice, I couldn't match my own time. So no, he definitely deserved it. But it was Neil that was the big surprise. I could not get past him for love nor money. I'm not going to say it's because the Ferrari's faster, even though the Ferrari's faster. But no, definitely down to Neil's driving. He's been doing really well. It was a great race.
Well, let's talk about that because you were in the Porsche. And that's something Shaggy brought up. You were against Ferraris. They seem to really have the top speed, and the BMWs the top speeds down the straight. The Porsche just, man, it was rough for you to get around anybody.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a Porsche lover, so I don't deviate from the car no matter what the track. But its weakness is its straight line speed. It's just not the fastest in a straight line. So when it comes to the back straight, just an edge of a nose was all I had to try. But no, it was good fun though. I love this car.
It was indeed. Let's go to the last part. You're racing in second behind Neil, who was, man, he was smooth. But then you got the guy behind you, and Dave, you made a mistake and let Beifel by.
Yeah, I was more impressed how well Neil was keeping Marcus behind. He kept him behind for 2 laps, and I didn't expect that. I thought Marcus was going to get him the first chance he was behind him, but no, top marks to Neil. He was doing really well.
Did you have a good view when Bamber put out the elbows and said, "Not this time," and sent Marcus off into the grass a little bit?
Yeah, I did comment on that. I was like, oh, check Neil being aggressive. That was quite good. I must admit, I was trying to do the same because I thought the minute Marcus gets in front of me, it's over. I thought he'll get to P1, so I was trying to stick my butt out a little bit in places.
It made for a good show. The championship was done. I think it was all in good fun, and I think Beifeld will appreciate the hard racing. He got the win anyway. It was a fun season. David, we hope to do it again. I know you're not in the loop as far as the organizers go, but if you can pull the strings, get the powers of be to have us come back, we'd love to come back and do more of these, okay?
Oh, I'm sure you guys will be back. Just quickly before I go, well done to Marcus, well deserved, and also well done to Neil. He's getting a lot faster. Great racer. Thanks for the broadcast, guys.
It was fun. Thank you. David, Third Degree Burns, always fun to talk to. He put on a good show. Hey, Shaggy, you get to talk to Neil.
Well, hey, Neil, man, second place, not much of a consolation there, but dude, you put the elbows out and made Marcus sweat. You got to feel good about the way you raced him out there.
Yeah, cheers, Shaggy. What a great ending to the season that was. Brilliant race at Road Atlanta, one of my favourite circuits.
Yeah, it showed that it's one of your favorite circuits because, not putting you down, you're way better than me, but, you don't always have that Beifeld speed. But, man, until you made that hiccup, Neil, you were putting your car in the right place every time. I talked about how if he was going to get a run on you, you had to force him to the outside there through that final corner. You did. You pushed him off, and I mean that was great. If not for that one hiccup, man, we're interviewing you on the top step tonight.
Yeah, as soon as I saw Marcus and David, 3 of the other guys behind, it's like you start even like the Jaws music coming through in your head because they're coming for you. But I knew if I could get a good exit onto the back straight and just keep it tidy through the final chicane, then I had a good chance of stopping in front. But yeah, I just ran wide. I was too busy looking to see if it was the white flag lap, and ran a little bit wide on the grass. But I think Marcus would have had me anyway. He's just got too much speed.
Neil, it's Soup here. Give me an honest answer on this. You always race clean. Is there any thought that goes through your head saying, this is the final race, we're on the final couple laps, the championship is decided? Is it in your nature to say, okay, I can be a little more aggressive because it doesn't mean as much? Or did you race the way you always race? Give me an honest answer.
Yeah, no, I'd always race our race. Yeah. I wouldn't push anybody off, no.
I know you do. I figured as much. We like to think, hey, he can be a little more aggressive, but that's just not your nature. Hey, Neil, congratulations. It was fun to watch your race, man. We'll see you next season.
Cheers. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the great broadcast, and congratulations to Marcus on the championship. Great job.
He was definitely a well-deserved championship. Okay, there you have it. Well, I hope you like this broadcast. If you like what we do here on VGN, we're going to show you when you can do it is when you can see us again. We're going to be on again next weekend for some short track racing Friday and Saturday nights, both from North Wilkesboro. One will be the SK Modifieds, one will be the late models. Both of those, you can see the times there. It'll be fun. We hope you enjoyed what we do here today. I can tell you this, that today wraps up our coverage of the Absolute Beginner League. And with that said, we'd like to thank everyone for having us here. If you have if you enjoyed this, we hope to come back and do it again. Until then, I'm going to go into the closet, look for your hat. Hey, look, here's your Southern Straw Skimmer. Let me give it to you. Until next time, have fun storming the castle.